Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to ATM Spellbound. Since the last episode, it has been a little bit of time. I've been doing some building and stuff. You can see I did kind of work on the entryway just a bit, because this has been hanging out, and we haven't really been doing anything with it. So I did set up a few of the reliquary pedestals. And over here I actually set up our forbidden fruit and our grail and our inkwell. I actually got another... if we take a look, another Architect's Inkwell, because I ran upon a desert temple, and actually on that note, I did come across our very first Heart of the Earth in that same desert temple. So technically we have one now. I don't think I'm going to use it just yet. I'm going to hang on to it. Since we do only have one, and since they are really valuable, there's some really good stuff once we get some Wither Souls, so I'm kind of like, I might hang on to it for just a little bit. But I did put a lot of our crafting tables. Of course, I will move these when we're working on a specific area. But I did get these set up and went ahead and made the other ones that we didn't have. I went ahead and made those and our loom and everything. Just kind of cleaning that up. Emptied out a lot of this space a bit as well. And I love this painting because this is like my painting, right? Like, I'm the Grim Reaper. And so I came upon this painting and I was like, I gotta put it in here somewhere. So it went right here. Down here I did do a little bit of work kind of cleaning this area, this entryway area up. And I've got our dimensional mine shaft just set on top of one other stone pedestal. And yeah, and clean this up. And I did expand out. These are all just tier 1 dimensional storage stabilizers. But I did expand out, so we have 1,920 slots. I even have them above and below, more so just for kind of framing in and figuring out exactly how this is going to be set up. But the tier 1s are cheap enough. And then beyond that, I haven't finished all of this. It takes a little bit, so. I did do a bit of mining because I was almost out of umber and some things like that. But oh, also diopside. You know, we were talking about needing diopside. Now I have 63 diopside, so I did get that. And then we come up, and you can see I kind of cleaned up this a little bit. Started just kind of running some walls up through here, so we can actually have somewhat of an entryway that looks halfway decent. Not totally finished, because it's going to be kind of a display hall as well. And then I spent a little bit of time working in the kitchen. Now, originally, I was going to set up a basket for these cooking pots, but baskets are nice, but they're also kind of clunky because the bowl kind of has to land into it. And this one was throwing bowls over to this one. It didn't really work out with my design, so what I ended up doing was just an ender hopper on top of the basket there. And it works just as well. Of course, the basket can collect items that fall on it, but I found that worked out a little bit better for our build. So, and it just looked a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner than trying to fit a basket into where it would need to go. So, also, I did get a night vision book that dropped, so I did put that onto our helmet. So we do have that now as well. It dropped from a mob, and I put life stealing and soulbound onto this. So leech does not work on this. So just a heads up on that. But our kitchen is lots of pantries. It's kind of unfinished at the moment. We're going to have decorative food on the tables. We're going to have a little kind of food storage area back in here. And I've got to make some baskets with food in them and stuff. But we do have a skillet and some stoves and a cutting board over here. And it's totally usable for our cooking. Because, I mean, right now we're just making stuffed pumpkins. Though we will be, like I said, we'll be switching over to hams sometime in December. So we got a couple days, at least the time of recording this, we got a couple days before we get to December. But we will probably be switching over fairly soon. I've got to get pigs moved over is the main thing. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to switch gears a little bit. We've been doing a lot of progression-y type stuff, working through a few magic mods, and we did a little bit of gearing up last episode. We actually have a lot of dimensions within this mod to explore, and I want to explore a dimension today, which is actually going to be the dimension that we live in, because we've lived here, but we haven't really explored much beyond underground. However, to actually get the quest to start doing this dimension, technically, we are going to have to go out and get the stuff that we would need to go into the other dimension as well. So, also I did farm up squid because we were getting low on squid ink. Also, we might do a little bit of overworld exploration today. That looks like an airship. And oh, it just so happens it's next to one of the buildings that we need. There's one right there. Yeah, so we might just head over for the hub. So I figured we'd do just a little bit of overworld exploration today, and then we're going to pop back into the blue skies. A lot of the quests are going to be fairly quick to knock out, because a lot of them are just crafting things like a maple wood pickaxe. You know, things that we've got ample access to. But we are also going to be doing a little bit of killing, because we have a quest for a Noctofly, and we have to kill a few of those. Not a big deal. And then we also have boss quests. So I think I've got an Alchemist, if I recall. I believe I have one discovered within this dimension. So we're going to take on the Alchemist boss. I don't know that we'll get around to the spider boss, realistically, today. Because, like I said, I do want to explore a little bit in the overworld as well. Because, of course, I do want to keep my eyes peeled for artifacts. So we will be looking for those as well, just from, like, kind of smaller, quick type dungeons that we can do. But we'll do a few of those as well. Stuff like desert temples and things that we can run in and maybe get a chance at getting some artifacts. Because, like I said, that's where I got the Heart of the Earth. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a few more of those. But I'm almost thinking that I'd like to get kind of a cursed playthrough going, where we get the scroll. I can't remember the name of it, but the scroll that buffs us for the amount of curses that we have, and then we just run a bunch of curses. Because I feel like that would be kind of cool and kind of fun. Plus, it would be kind of beneficial. We got lunar on this one. That's not what we want. So down towards the airship we go. And I guess since we're in the area, I'm going to go pop up here, because I think these can give artifacts too. Well, actually, I know they can, because we've gotten, like, cat slippers and things out of these. Because artifacts is going to be the best place for us to get, like, our hand slot baubles. And there is quite a few upgrades. Only one chest here. That's unfortunate. We did get an angelic feather. We're not going to use it because we don't need it. Normally, it actually is pretty nice. I've packed these around in many a series. Because you don't have to worry about fall damage. As long as you don't mind using up just a little bit of hunger. So, oh, it looks like there's actually a ladder that comes down off of this airship. It doesn't seem to go all the way down, but it looks like it comes down a good ways there. Yeah, we're going to have to go up there. Hopefully this one has our blocks that we're looking for. It's basically a 50-50 chance, so. And we probably will pop into the ice dimension just briefly today. Yes, there we go. Because, of course, the... oh, no. There was 14 from that one. Okay. Because last time, you know, we only got 12. And we're going to get some moonstone. Yeah, so we can go ahead and push on in that case. But I want to check out this airship. That village looks kind of cool, too. There we go. Sky high advancement. It's like a glass viewing platform and stuff. That's kind of neat. I always like airships. Oh, wow. One thing I am going to do, because it seems like whenever I updated last, it turned my clouds back on. So I'm going to turn these off. I don't know why, like, Minecraft's clouds have to be so low. Now, this must be the control chamber. That doesn't really seem to do anything, I don't think. It looks like maybe it's meant to be blood. Like maybe zombies have taken over the airship or something. Okay, so what do we got? I wonder if there's actually a way that we're intended to turn this on. I don't want to break anything because I always feel like, hey! Hello there. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got a skeleton spawner up here. And a chest with redstone stuff. Okay. I'm going to break it because I don't figure I'm going to come back up here just for a skeleton spawner. And that way we get some shards. There go. Hey, what in the world? Where did you come from? Oh, those... Ah, it's string there. Okay, well, before we go up that, I want to go up this ladder here. We'll just take it all. Okay, that doesn't really seem to do anything. We'll save the ice dimension for later, though. Or the snow dimension, you know. Because I don't want to pop in there briefly and then pop back out. Enkindling, infested, shielding. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my god. Ah. I died. And again, awesome. They're literally sitting right on top of me right now. They actually hit pretty hard, and the fact that I didn't kill that one that was right behind me was a bad idea. Very, very bad idea. Alright. Okay, let me get out of there. Because I could just run them back to here, you know. Oh, we got Silverfish. I like that. Oh. Now, I don't know if I got my soul shards off of them, and I really hope that I did. Yeah, it looks like I did. I'm back up to my full health. That's great. It's not really a big deal, as long as you at least go back to your grave. You know, you don't use death to get yourself back home or something like that. Just do that. And kindling's not really a big deal, but I'll tell you what, with this curse and the way this pack is laid out, like, we've got really good armor right now, I feel like, but even still, bad decisions will still get me. Or, like, just doing bad things like that. Okay, so what did we get? We got Depth Strider 4. We got Void Vision. And we got Bane of Arthropods. Okay. I was not anticipating dying today. That's alright. There's the spawner that's spawning them. Let me get rid of that. Alright. I wasn't expecting this airship. I wasn't expecting this airship to be this big. Mana boost. I don't really care about that. Vengeance Spirit. We got a backpack. And piercing upgrade. Where did my tablet go? I bet it got equipped as like, yeah, it got equipped as a bauble. It does that. Though I guess, I mean, we're not really running a hand slot thing. Let me see. Is there a command? Storage accessor is in. Can I just set that to plus? Yeah, that might actually be... Long term, I probably won't do this. Because there are actually some really good hand baubles for us to use. But, yeah, that's actually kind of nice, to be honest. And it frees up a little bit of space there. So, what do we got over here? A bunch of stuff. Oh, God. Is there a witch or something? Must have been one of the effects of one of those skeletons. Oh, we got treasure back here too. Enchanted Scroll of True Sight. End Veil, we'll take it. Direwolf 20. Closure box. Okay. I don't think we can actually go any higher. That's smooth quartz. We're going to take it. We're just going to open this up a little bit. And, I'm actually going to pop over to this village real quick, because there is a couple buildings that might be useful to us. We've got a mana and artifice building. I'm going to rob it just to help us out later. we'll go ahead and take the rune scribing table because I'm wanting to start mana and artifice here fairly soon. And we'll take the brazier and everything else. We're going to take it all. Alright, now over here, of course, we do need to be careful with the iron golems kind of wandering around. I saw one somewhere right there. And look at that, he sees me. Ha ha ha. Food, I don't want that. So many ice and fire buildings in this place. Like, I don't get it. Okay, that's not gonna... This wall here is not gonna help you. It's just kids that live in it, so... there is a simple grave. We're gonna go ahead and take that. Just because it saves me having to buy one. I did get another undead essence, though. Ah, there we go! Vampiric Glove. That's actually one of the hand slots that I wanted. Causes the wearer's melee attacks to absorb health. That one is actually extremely good. So we'll go ahead and throw that on. So now we have a little bit extra life leech at this point. Oh, never noticed this one up here. Not much in it, though. Centennial. Open 100 instance per player loot containers. Okay. Oh, we got the Centennial trophy, too. And something worth noting, for example, iron boots. You can see that even these will stack up to 1,000. You know, even though they're not normally stackable, if they're the same item, they will also stack up to 1,000 per slot. So, all right, and now that's pretty much it for this area. I think at this point, I think we're going to head back home. Because we got what we had actually came for. So there's that. Maybe I have to step through the portal. And if not, then maybe I have to finish the kind of the mirrored quest on the other side. I'm not for sure. Because it's not letting me... I mean, it says we're at 100%. Well, I'll tell you what, let me get the Zeal Lighter out of here. And let's go ahead and set up our Centennial Trophy. Since we can. I don't really know where I want it to go. Probably... here? No. I feel like it needs to go on top of like a table or something. But we'll set it up just right here for right now. I'll figure out something for it. Because I don't think if we put it on the pedestal, it's not going to be all that good looking because it's going to make it small. But we can put it there for now. It'll be fun. We can step through. We're not going to actually explore the dimension today. It's a lot like, as far as like the types of content, is a lot like the Everbright or the Everdawn, but you can see it's a lot more blue. A whole lot more blue. Did that count for... Oh, it didn't count for this. See, that's... I may end up having to use commands to do this. Because it's like very strictly wanting me to... We actually spawned right into one of the villages too. Interesting. But we'll explore this place later. But yeah, it knows that I've been to the Everdawn, but it won't trigger the quest. Let's try making the Maplewood pick, maybe? That, yeah. I think I'm going to have to use... I don't even know how to do the commands for... Okay, actually, maybe editing mode. Yeah, that's not really what I want to do. Here we go. Can I complete instantly? There we go. Okay, so all you got to do is do FTB quests and editing mode. Then we could turn that off because we don't need it anymore. But okay, that's a bit easier. All right, and there was our Maplewood pickaxe. Woo. Okay, so now we should be back on track. And then they want us to get Lunar Stone Pick and Horizonite ore, which actually I've never minded any of this because it only comes from. Maybe it's this area. I remember it's biome specific. It might be Searing Grassland. Actually, our book here. Whoops, there. will probably tell us if we take a look. This is the wrong one, though. Horizonite. Found in the Crystal Dunes. So we're going to have to head over to the Crystal Dunes to get that. But the quest also wants us to get the Lunar Stone pick. There's that. And then we just have to go mine up that Horizonite. And then we get to go bug hunting. And then we'll be up to the boss. So that's kind of what I was pushing for there. Okay, so let me head over to the dunes and dig around and see if I can find some. I think it's just one Horizonite that we need. Yeah. And actually the Crystal Dunes, oh, there's actually one right there too. But the Crystal Dunes, that's actually where our tower is that has the Alchemist. So I'm going to set up one of the waystones that we've collected. I'm going to set it up there. Also may mine, I don't know. I think I've got a bit of lunar wood. Let's see. 340. Yeah, I've got a bunch planted down there, kind of where that courtyardy area is. So, oh, we actually got an Enderman here. Oh, looking at them, they don't aggro. Oh, Mother Darkbrand the Lazy, awesome. Okay, I didn't realize that was a boss, and that she hits apparently like a truck. So apparently today's episode is just me dying. That's the third death this episode. Like, I've done really good, but it's like as soon as I got exploring, I'm just like, bah, just die. And Mother Darkbrand, I don't know where she went because I was going to just build a pillar and fight her from that, but yeah, I guess that's not going to be the case. Oh, and by the way, this is one of the Searing Grasslands. This is where Maplewood is. I don't think we've actually been through one of these on camera. I've been through, a little bit. I was out here just mining. And got a little bit. That's when I came across that tower. I can't remember if I showed it to you guys, but we're going to be checking it out this episode. It's the Alchemist Tower. But for a while, I was coming out kind of a distance to chop my trees. And came out a little bit of a distance here and came across the tower in the process. Plus, I was looking for flowers and things. But that right there is the Alchemist Tower. So we're going to be popping over there later this episode to take the fight to the Alchemist. Kind of a fun boss, but I don't think it'll be too difficult. Because he actually, I don't recall him doing a whole lot of damage on his own. It's mainly from status effects. And I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay, but we'll see. I'm just going to set this up right there, and that way we can easily warp back. Oh, that's cool. The vampiric gloves actually render on my hand there. Actually quite like that. Okay, so we're going to be looking for Horizonite. Which, of course, we do have some of the ingots just from exploring as, like, basically as loot. But this will be our first time actually looking for the ore. And it's going to be spawning pretty low down. Probably right in here. Yeah, there we go. Didn't take that long. Actually, this stuff, I think, is more common than diopside. But diopside can be fortuned. Whereas Horizonite cannot be. And Horizonite does do like kind of auto smelting type effects. So there's that. We'll take the XP. And then now we need to kill 5 Noctoflies. And this is actually a mob. I've killed a couple, but they're not actually super common. They're not going to be underground either. I need to go up, but you'll occasionally see them kind of flying around. They look a lot like the Swarmers, except for their aerial versions. And I've got to figure out... Oh, whoops. I guess I'm going for a swim. Let's get some of our, like, life stealing going there. There we go. Umber, I'm going to take it. And you could see, because now we've got night vision, we didn't have night vision before when it came to mining, and you can kind of see what the caves and stuff looked like if they were all lit up. But yeah, I'm not really seeing much of anything. I'm just gonna warp home. I think that's gonna be the easiest method because I know that Nocto flies, Nycto flies. They spawn over the water a lot of times. Now it is gonna help probably to try to aggro them down because, like I said, they do fly around. Either that or get a bow. I don't know if I've got a bow in. Actually, there's one. Do I have a bow? I don't think I do. Oh, you come here, fly. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so 2 more, or 3 more to go. After this one will be 2 more. I'm not getting any credit for these. The only thing I can think is that maybe either because I completed that quest that could bug it, but also it could be because I'm using a weapon that's not ideal for this area. Which on that note, for the Alchemist, it's just getting the alchemy table. Okay. So that's actually not a big deal, but I need to try and see if a diopside sword would count for the kills, maybe? Okay, does that count? It does. Okay, so you just can't use a weapon from outside the dimension. Same probably with the ice monsters. So I'll just have to bear that in mind. Diopside is fine. You can see that the scythe is better now in this dimension than like an unenchanted diopside sword, but which this is actually a pretty good sword, 9 attack damage, but. And there we go, quest complete, bugs. Alright, so let's just pop back home at this point. I'm just gonna put this away, I don't really need it. Since we won't have to have it for the Alchemist. And Alchemist Tower is a free teleport. That's great. Go ahead and take that. Alright, and now we get to tackle the Alchemist Castle. Oh, and actually we get XP levels from this. So with these, it's best to either save it until you have a lot of levels or take out all your XP. I don't know how many levels I've got. It's 48. So we could get basically up to 53. That's actually pretty good. And we can loot these. Perfect. I've actually been wanting some of this binding stone. Also some of the like nature stone and stuff. Because if you take a look here, I mean, like for example, this comes from the ice dimension, but it's actually really, really beautiful. And then the aquatic stone, I think, is from the ice place, right? I think that's the summoner stone. And this is from the nature dungeon. I think this is from the spider. And then the binding is from the alchemist. But I've been wanting some of these stones. So I will probably end up tearing down this entire place. Also, free books. Oh, we have to kill the boss, though, first. Okay, yeah. And then we can have it his dungeon. So basically what we're doing, we're looking for 4 keys. And they're going to be... if we go all the way up, you can see this floor kind of splits off. Or it's the next floor that splits off. But well, this one does. So we're going to come through and wipe out these Vindicators. There we go. We got a Pyrope armor piece. And there is our first key, the Binding Dungeon key. Leather worker. Yeah, I don't want any of your stuff. I'm just going to leave him. Should probably keep my hunger topped off. These guys are probably going to hit a little bit hard, but we have a cat. Kitty cat. And there is another binding key. Let's know where this leads over to a witch. I don't know, I might keep the Pyrope sword on me just in case, because I feel like she took a lot of hits. Aqua Axe. Okay. I think I'm going to keep it on me just to be on the safe side. We could always enchant it, but I don't think we're going to have to. This guy's got a little bit of health, but he's not too bad. From my recollection, anyways. And then right here we have a maze, but since we have double jump, we can just jump over said maze. And there we go. There is our last key. No, it isn't. That's only the third one. What about... Oh, the witch side right there, inside the brewing stand. Okay, so anyways, we are at the top now. And you can see, I mean, the dungeon is not that crazy. We're going to go ahead and click that. And this is going to spawn the Alchemist. We'll give him just a second to spawn in. Boom. And you can see he's going to teleport a lot throughout this fight. You only have so long to get to him. He drops these poison clouds. He also afflicts you with blindness. This is my least favorite part. And then proceeds to knock us into the poison. Honestly, this sword and the scythe are kind of like neck and neck, but we do have the life drain on the scythe. So I'm going to stick with the scythe for now. Now, you can see there's not a whole lot of threat as far as him actually killing us, most likely. The poison, probably the worst thing to look out for. If you have poison protection, that actually does help out quite a bit. But I don't have it at the moment, so... I guess one downside to the scythe, of course, is it's a little bit slower attack, but... Go. Honestly, with our, like, lifesteal, because I'm noticing that helping out quite a bit. You're over here. With that, and then with our food and our armor, this guy's actually pretty easy. Just takes a little bit because he teleports around. And his water is now turned into lava, which is fine. Gotta make sure and put that out. If it comes up, but no biggie. There you are. Watch out for that. That's his hardest hitting attack, is the stones coming down from the ceiling, but it's actually fairly easy to dodge if you just pay attention. But this fight is really easy to kind of get into the habit of just kind of, getting in the habit of just running at him and swinging. Because you can actually see, based on the color of his particles, what he's going to do next. That is with... or that's damage. Like instant damage potion. Blind. Rocks. And you're just about dead, guy. And there we go. He is dead. Okay, so you can see that we got the Alchemist trophy and we got the Alchemist loot bag. And then if we open this up, we got a Dusk Arc. This one grants invisibility while sneaking without smoke. So basically, if we sneak, we go invisible, which I guess is kind of nice, right? So, because we're already like invisible most of the time, so if we want to sneak past something. And that's what this is for. You know, we talked about this a bit back. So basically, for example, I can go sneak, and you can see I have gone invisible. We did get the spike shield as well, which I don't know, I might actually, I mean, it doesn't really match my armor, that's the only thing. So I don't know that I'm going to use it, but... And we got the Alchemy Scroll. Drops decaying spikes in a line above the player. So, for example, we do this, and you can see that's where it's going to drop my spikes. And we release, and it drops my spikes. Takes a little bit of durability damage, but we can repair it. We should be able to repair it with our blood chest. So, and then if we want to go back down, click that, and there we go. Now, unfortunately, we did not get the alchemy table off of him. So I'm going to have to go out and try to find another one. But occasionally, if I recall, it'll come out of the bag. I was thinking it was 100% chance, but that might be the spike shield that's 100% chance. To be honest, so we're just going to put that away for the time being, but that's fine. I mean, the boss isn't that bad. Part of me, though, feels like maybe just enchanting the Diopside Sword and see what we get. Alright, so we got Slayer 5 and Sweeping Edge 4. Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to worry about enchanting it beyond that, to be honest. Because this is really just going to be for fighting these bosses, and it should be sufficient damage. Okay, we got one right over there, off in the distance. So we'll give it another shot. There we go. Okay, so we got a common rarity one. So probably not going to be as good a loot out of this one. And we got another spike shield. We did get another Alchemist trophy, but yeah, I mean, that one was pretty bad. Pretty bad. But yeah, so I'll have to go find another one. Now, one thing to note, I don't believe that the rarity of the bag, I could be wrong, but I don't think the rarity of the bag actually affects your chance to get the alchemy table, though. Like I said, I thought the alchemy table was 100%, but I think it's the spike shield that's 100%. And then the alchemy table is just chance. I think. Hopefully it hasn't changed and there's some other way to go about getting it. But I will say the Blue Skies, it's got some really good bosses. Like, this guy is a lot more interesting than like another like hack and slashy type boss, you know? Which is what most bosses tend to be. It's just basically a big walking zombie, more or less. So I do like that. And the other bosses as well, they're a lot of fun. The new 1.16 bosses are a whole lot of fun. We got a uncommon, in this case. Fingers crossed. We got Spike Shield, Aquite, and a common Dusk Arc. Okay. Yeah, you can see we've only gotten the one Alchemy Scroll so far. Alright. Well, I'm going to sit out for another one then. Okay, I want to pop you guys back in because look what I just found. It is a spider lair. So, kind of hard to spot on the map, sort of. But they do stand out while you're running around. So, but I figured this will be a chance for... I wasn't actually looking necessarily for one of these, but this will be a good chance for us to maybe get another arc that will help out a bit for the Alchemist. And of course, this is one of the new 1.16 dungeons alongside the Nature Dungeon. I did see a lot of chests down that way, but I guess we're going to go this way first. Now, these will be decent sized. But of course, once again, you are looking for the dungeon keys. I guess we'll go off in this direction. And it's all pretty much going to be cave spiders, and luckily we one-shot cave spiders, so should be fairly easy. Now this is actually one of the ones that I was really wanting because of the, the poison stone, because I could see us maybe using some of this in some places. Also the nature stone, and I don't know, probably most of the stone types, but I just think they just look so good. And of course we're always on the lookout for textures. Textures for building. Oh, I can break the spider webs in this. Glowing poison stone. And you'll notice this one and the Nature Dungeon both are fairly big by comparison to the other ones. But I think that's just part of maybe part of the focus of the 1.16 dungeon cycle. Was making kind of bigger dungeons that you were intended to kind of spend a little bit more time in. The nature one is a lot more standoutish. Once we get over to that, you'll see. But it stands big and proud, and you will see it from a mile off, kind of like the tower. This one, a little bit more hidden because it is, it's pretty much underground. Alright, so we will push on downwards to the next floor. Now we have the poison stone bricks, which I am definitely wanting. Also a really good place, probably to get a lot of spawners. If you need spawners, like silk touching spawners, this would be a really good place for it. Guess I could use Vein Mine for getting rid of some of these cobwebs. We gotta find, oh, there's a chest here. I don't really need it, because it's not gonna be a key. I wish we could get it like an extra key, though. That would be awesome, because we do have a quest later on. But I do plan on doing more than one of these spider dungeons. Because the chance that I'm going to go in the first time and get a good rarity of Arc isn't very high. Now, the Alchemist, I'm not that worried about. Once we get the Alchemy table, I'm probably not going to grind his Arc much, regardless of what rarity I end up with, and that's because it's probably not one that I'm going to keep. Well, actually, the spider is not really probably one that I'm going to keep either, because it's the poison damage. But yeah, let's do this. Well, go ahead. Get charged up. There we go. And it's important kind of to have a shield for this fight. It's going to help out a lot for like that. And you can see it kind of stunned. And it does kind of stun our shield, as you can see. But actually, I guess I should get out of that acid. I was like, well, we'll be able to jump, but I'm going to have to kind of backstep as we go. But we do have our shield back at this point. Let me go. I'm going to go ahead and block that attack. That sound is actually obnoxious. Now, normally you'd want to use a bow here. But, we're not. Oh my god. I feel like that sound is a bug, right? There we go. You are dead. It's funny because his minions that he spawned didn't actually aggro us. Yeah, there's something. God. You can't do that in this room. Okay. Nested spiders. And we got the exterminator. Woo. Because we didn't actually fight them. Normally, the spider will jump up there and you got to kill the ads and then it'll jump back down, but since we have double jump, we just jump up. Plus, the ads don't see us, so we're not in any threat from them. Okay, I'm getting out of this room. It's awful. But we got the Arachnarch trophy. We actually got a miniature yellow heart. That's good. An Arachnarch charm. That'd be interesting to make it, like, to where it can't even see us. That would be quite interesting. Okay, so we got an uncommon loot bag. Come on, luck. We got an uncommon poisonous arc, so it's going to increase our damage dealt by 2 when poisoned. That's kind of where your rarities come in. I'm actually not for sure what difference the this one makes for the higher rarities, to be honest, because it's just like invisibility while sneaking. But this one does 2 damage. I think we can get it up to like 4 or 5 damage. But it's going to help out with the Alchemist fight. And then we got this. I think that came from the boss. So nothing all that crazy. But we did get one of the arcs here, so that's good. And that's going to give us the ability to craft, poisonous stone pretty much at our leisure, because we can do this method right here, and then from there we can make all of the poison stone that we want. But since we're down here, I might snag a bit of it, just because we can. Okay, I had to come back to the base because I was getting a bit low on food, and I did whip up a new familiar here. I had to set up a new ritual, but we did get the Chimera. And let's grab some food for our Chimera. And there we go. That is our Chimera. And what we can do is we can feed it. You can see we can make it larger. And this is going to kind of buff it up a little bit. Make it a little bit stronger and a bit faster. I'm going to need more food. Let's go with beef. Eat all the food. There we go. Put that back in there. And that way we can ride our Chimera. But this way we do have ourselves a mount. And quite a cool mount as well. So that way we can ride this around, because it's taking a while to find our 4th Alchemist Tower. And now we have a mount that we can store in the ring. We have to shift right click to put it in there. But we can store our mount there. Okay, and I actually teleported to the 2nd Alchemist Tower that we did. And there's actually a spider dungeon right over next to it. I'm not going to run the entire spider dungeon right this second. But one thing that I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get a key from here, because we will need it here shortly for the quest. And that way we'll just have it. There we go. He is dead. And let's see what we got. Starting to get a lot of those built up. Another spike shield. We got a common Dusk Arc and then a bunch of junk. So, still on the prowl for the alchemy table at this point. There we go. Okay. We got another common. And no table again. Another common arc there as well. Okay. Off to find another one. By the way, my Chimera, I'm going to have to feed it just a little bit more because it's lost its... I've lost the ability to mount it. Which will happen kind of over time. No, we actually can't. I was curious if I could feed it pumpkin, but I cannot. I'm probably going to need to get a beef farm set up. Though I will say, whenever we go to do our next batch of blue skies, which will be, you know, the frost dimension, chances are we will probably have a broom by then, because I think I'm going to go ahead and push for a broom, because I don't think they're gated within this pack, and then we can just fly. One more kill. How many of these do we got? 6? That's 6th kill. And there we go. There is our alchemy table. We also got the Plaguebringer 5 enchantment. That was actually a really lucky one. And a common Dusk Arc. So at long last, we do now have the alchemy table. So yay! So if we pop back home, that's probably the last one that we do. I mean, we've got, as far as the arcs go, we do have a good Dusk Arc. It's a rare one. You know, it could be better. But this one is perfectly fine. It's not really one that I plan to stick with long term anyways. And our Poisonous Arc, yeah, it could be better, but it's not really an effect that we care to have. And this is probably definitely one that we're not going to be keeping. So now that we've got the alchemy table, we will probably end up moving this somewhere. I've got to figure out kind of where I want basically this in the summoning table. The food table we'll put in the kitchen once I get around to making one of those. But the alchemy table, though, if we grab this and we take a look real quick, you can see there's a lot of different recipes here. But a couple that will be extremely useful is we can now make, for example, that poison stone. We can make this just using like lunar stone. We can also kind of alternate between other types of stone, but more specifically, we can use lunar stone with like the poisonous arc. So for example, let's grab a couple of these. Let's also grab like some saplings. So if we go in and let's grab our arcs real quick. We grab these. For example, if I throw in that, you can see it opens up a bunch of different options here that I can now craft from that. And we can also do the same thing like if we just had regular stone. you know, we could change it between all these other things. So at this point, I can easily get Umber, which is great because I've actually not necessarily struggled on Umber. I think I've got like 1,000 of it right now, but I have to go on mining trips specifically for Umber because I do use it quite a bit. But we can also get like our turquoise stone and stuff, or rhinestone and different things. But in addition, if we do it with, say, an arc, we can make our binding or our blinding stone. And then if we instead, say, use the poisonous arc, then we can get our poison stone. So kind of nice right there. And then, for example, saplings, we pretty much now have access to every sapling in the game, just, for example, using lunar saplings. So, you know, we can get the Feywild saplings just right out the gate. And actually, I think, yeah, we can even get the Twilight Forest, the rare saplings from the Twilight Forest, like the Minor Tree and probably the Tree of Transformation. It's probably in here somewhere. Oh, and you can see we can actually get Otherworld saplings this way too. Oh, and we can get some of the ones from the end, so that's good. Runewood saplings we can get from this if we hadn't already done Malum. There's Sorting Tree. I wonder if Tree of Transformation is still... Yeah, there's Tree of Time and Tree of Transformation. Okay, I was just missing them. I was thinking they were somewhere in here. You can also see that we can get undead saplings from Evilcraft, you know, instead of having to actually craft those. Basically, I think anything that counts as a sapling we can get through here. And in some cases, we can bypass bits of progression with that if we so desired. I don't think we're really going to use it to exploit, but... that is kind of an option. But more importantly, we can craft poison stone, and we can, once we go to, you know, the other dimension, we can craft the other types of stone as well. But there's actually, I mean, there's a lot of different things that we can do with this. You know, you can tab through here. You know, we can change out wool, and it looks like it works with the chipped wool, so we can pretty much just chisel wool of, I think, any color into any other color and any other version. But then we can also switch between types of coral, switch out beds, switch out vines. And this is something nice because I'm actually missing a few vines that I want for the lower area, and I haven't been able to find them as of yet. Also, redstone to glowstone, super useful. Something that we will definitely be using. If we had some chorus, we could get endstone that way. Of course, we have the occultism method for endstone. We can also get grass. You know, there's a whole bunch of different stuff here. Pretty much opens up a lot of crafts. Like a single sapling can turn into any sapling in the pack, and then stone, for example, can turn into a wide variety of stone types. Now, I pulled out all of our XP because we're going to get 5 XP levels, and you can see it jumps us up to 65 there, and then we're going to get 5 more here, bumping us up to 70. And that does finish out the quest for this dimension. I will probably end up running that other poison dungeon, maybe. I don't really have much need to do it, to be honest. But and then a little bit later, we will do the other dimension. But with that, I know it's about wrapping up point 4 this episode, so we're actually going to end this one out here. A little bit longer of an episode, but we had a bit to tackle. And since this is episode 10, technically episode 11, of course I did start with episode 0 with the series, basically to give me an extra episode, because of course that first initial kind of setup episode is always just kind of starting the pack, you know. That way it gave me one extra episode. But since this is episode 10, there is going to be a world download. I think we're going to kind of keep it as... you know, I was doing world uploads every like 25 episodes for like a public world upload. We're going to keep it as that. So episode 10, this episode will be a patron world upload, and we'll do those every 10 episodes, and then like a public one every 25. Is kind of what I'm thinking. So if you guys are interested in grabbing this world, it will be on the patron page as well as on the Discord under the patron world upload section. And I'll be sure to leave a chest here in the entryway, with all of my inventory and baubles and all that stuff. But anyways, if you want to grab the world, it will be in the normal places. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.